Imagine a wagon train stretching across endless plains, dust swirling, oxen plodding tirelessly, and families facing weeks without fresh provisions. The reality of westward expansion wasn't just a physical challenge, it was a culinary one. Pioneers carried limited supplies: flour, lard, dried beans, salt, and often no refrigeration, no ice, no electricity. These staples were essential, yet monotonous and insufficient for long journeys. Every meal required careful planning and ingenuity. Beyond mere survival, food was critical for morale, a reminder of home and comfort. Pioneers had to master improvisation, transforming hardtack into edible meals. Stretching dried beans across multiple days and utilizing every scrap of meat or grain. Families quickly learned that without culinary ingenuity, even the strongest settlers risked malnutrition or despair. As we explore the kitchens of the trail, consider this. What would you do if your pantry had only 3 ingredients and your family depended on your creativity for survival? Sourdough wasn't just bread. It was lifeline, tradition, and ingenuity all in one. Pioneers nurtured starters for months, feeding them with scraps of flour and water, a living organism that could endure long journeys and unpredictable conditions. When a starter slowed, resourceful cooks revived it by adding new flour or even potato water. Sourdough became a base for everything: pancakes at dawn, thickened stews at dusk, or simple loaves to accompany wild game. Sharing starters was also a social and cultural act, connecting wagon trains and settlements with a common taste of home. Beyond nourishment, sourdough embodied resilience, adaptability, and culinary creativity, a symbol of frontier ingenuity. Could you imagine carrying a living bread for months, nurturing it daily while traveling hundreds of miles? That commitment shaped both meals and community spirit. When provisions ran low, pioneers turned to the land itself. Hunting was essential. Deer, bison, rabbits, and birds were transformed into stews, jerky, and roasts, ensuring no part of the animal went to waste. Meanwhile, knowledge of edible plants, berries, roots, and greens provided critical nutrition. Mistakes could be deadly, but those who mastered foraging thrived. Preservation was just as important. Smoking meats, drying fruits, or creating makeshift coolers allowed foods to last days or weeks. Pioneer kitchens demanded creativity, adaptability, and a profound understanding of local ecosystems. As you watch, imagine walking miles to gather wild berries or roasting a freshly caught rabbit over an open fire. This connection to the land and resourcefulness defined frontier cuisine in ways modern kitchens rarely experience. Necessity birthed innovation. Hasty puddings, simple desserts, and clever adaptations of minimal ingredients kept families nourished and spirits high. Desserts made from dried fruits, molasses, or wild honey were morale boosters after long days on the trail. Recipes were shared between wagons, forming a network of culinary wisdom that adapted to local resources. Pioneers didn't just survive, they created flavorful, inventive dishes from scarcity. Every improvised meal demonstrated creativity, resilience, and community, turning the act of eating into both necessity and ritual. The ingenuity of frontier kitchens resonates even today, inspiring sustainable and resource-conscious cooking. How might we apply these principles in our modern kitchens, emergency prep, or minimalist cooking routines? Pioneer cooking offers lessons far beyond history books. Sustainability, zero-waste practices, and ingenuity were born of necessity and remain relevant today. Learning to repurpose ingredients, forage responsibly, and adapt recipes to limited resources mirrors modern food movements. Even more, engaging with historical recipes reconnects us with culture and heritage. Try recreating a pioneer dish. The simple joy of feeding your family with creativity and resourcefulness evokes the resilience of those who traveled westward centuries ago. From sourdough pancakes to smoked game, these culinary principles remain timeless. As we close, remember, food isn't just sustenance, it's ingenuity, tradition, and survival passed through generations.